Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. It's a really nice day, and I'm just out on the job with my husband, who's a window cleaner. Today we are going to be talking about autism and going out places, and I'm going to give you some tips and stuff. So just looking back to when we went to West Midlands Safari Park. I've done the following, which was really important. So the first one is research. Do your research on where you are going, what kind of place it is. Is it a theme park? Is it a park? No, where are you going? Like if it's a restaurant and that or something, how busy will it be? You can ask people, you can ask the manager, you can say, look, I've got a autistic, like a son or daughter. What time will it be best to come because my son or daughter needs to be in a quiet environment, and they may say no this time, or we don't really have a new time, but you could try this time. It's really important that you do your research. So with West Midlands Safari Park, we already Darren and myself, we have been there a few times, and we know what it's like. We know it can be busy. So what my kind of plan, and this is the second tip, is plan. So we knew that it was going to be really busy on the safari in the morning, because everyone gets there and they go straight away on the safari drive. Matthew couldn't cope. He can't cope with waiting and then stopping and stuff, so we decided days in advance that we would do the penguins, then the dinosaur and Ice Age, where we done Ice Age and then dinosaurs. Then we went to Giggle Park, and we spent a long time in Giggle Park, and it was absolutely fantastic. That part of the trip was amazing. He had such an amazing time. It was we've been there before, so the research, what was it? I didn't have to do much of. I planned, so I got everything ready before. All his food, spare clothes, nappies, everything ready the night before. And people will say, "Oh wow, you well organised," and that's what you need to be. Do it the night before, because at least then you can still have your morning routine. It's really important I think, to keep to that morning routine. So he gets up, he has his drink, his toast, he watches a bit of TV. We plan not to go very early. We did get stuck in some traffic, but not that much, because it was half term. So we didn't want to get there when it first opened, because it would have just been really busy. So we got there a bit later, but we said if we had 3 hours there or 4 hours, that'd be really good. We had around about 6 hours, which was awesome. Organise things, so know what you are taking and stuff. If your child needs a comforter or a tablet or something, for when they may get stressed, then it's important to kind of do that. And yeah, so when what was it, on the day, and that they kind of decide on what time you are going to leave, and that whether you need to plan any stops and that, that's really important. And how long. Now your child, my Matthew, is only 4.5. He'll be 5 at the end of next month. He doesn't need that visual timetable yet. He doesn't to him it's just oh right, we're going out in the car. And then when we get there, it's absolutely fine, right? And so it's very much kind of the thing whereby with some children and young, I say adults, and even adults, you will need to prepare them. It depends on your child or like young person. You need to prepare them for what the day is going to be like. Now, I would say no, prepare them so much, and that you could go into great detail. So, what was it? If you really need to, but you need to warn them as well of, kind of like, we are going on the motorway and we may get stuck in traffic, but we have kind of like your tablet that you can do, or whatever, will kind of settle them. So it may happen. Now, some like autistic children and that can get fairly like stress, and that either is it will happen or it won't happen. And so saying maybe can, it can cause high anxiety and that. So sometimes it's probably not like best to say, but then on the other hand, you're a young person, it might be a case that you may need to pre-warn them. So do that. And so when you get there, you've probably done your research. So if you go into like a theme park, normally check on the website, maybe ring up, see whether they got fast passes, and that this will give you access to the rides and that much more say quicker. A lot of children with autism and young people, they have difficulty in waiting. They don't understand why they got to wait, and that and so this was a case with Matthew on the safari, whereby he couldn't understand, like, okay, we're in the car, we're meant to be moving, like, even though he's non-verbal, was I kind of get what he like I say thinks and that. So okay, we're in the car, so we should be moving all the time, not just stopping and that. And even on, like, we had a little bit of traffic, and he can get really upset. He can have a meltdown and stuff like that. So prepare like yourself, and that it might just be a tantrum, but if it is a meltdown, no, I mean, we just let Matthew have his meltdown and that. Trouble is, when you are in the safari park, you can't take like Rebecca out and that. So in the future, I'm going to be sitting at the back, or Darren will, so that if he does have a meltdown, was it we can calm him down and that, or pause it, because sometimes it's not a meltdown, sometimes just a tantrum that he wants to just do what he does. So lessons learned is the next like tip really, and that is do your best. Yeah, do your best, but at the same time, things will happen. Yeah, your child might have a meltdown over something which is you have no idea. Yeah, but look at the triggers, and is it too hot? No. We wasn't sure whether he had pooed or not. But the reason that why he had a meltdown in the car was because there was a long queue near like the elephants and the huts and that, because it's very new, and he just had enough. Like, we had the aircon on and everything, and he was not a happy boy. Now, I'm gonna say that some people, including like my husband, I find trips like this really stressful. And I think that's why you have to research. That's why you have to plan and organise and that. But you also got to be a bit relaxed about it. You've got to have fun. So do things that that your child will enjoy, say first, or use that like as a like reward. Right, we are going to be doing this first, and then that, and then you will get this. I was working with a young lad with autism and ADHD, and I remember working with him at college, and we had to do some like work and stuff, and he wanted to just go off and play pool and stuff like that. And the strategy that we had was like, well, you do like the library, yeah. What was it? You do your like a work. You had to research on like a day out, okay. I said, and then afterwards we'll have lunch, and then after lunch we will go and play pool. And he was what, like 18, 19 at the time, I think. And even when he was a bit older, we still had to use that strategy. But you had to be clear. Of course, things will happen. No, which means that maybe time or something like that, and the person can't get to do it, and they have no meltdowns. We can't control those meltdowns. We can only try to prevent them, but sometimes it's really hard to do that because we don't know the reason on why that person is having a meltdown. We can try to understand, and it could be something very simple, and that, like, no. But at the same time, we shouldn't like blame ourselves. We should be relaxed. We should be calm. And when we was going around the safari park, Matthew was having a meltdown, and well, a tantrum at first, and then it turned into the meltdown. And it was because we was going so slow. And I said to Dan, look, Rebecca's here as well. We need to complete, what was it, the safari, yeah? Then we'll go back to the car park. We will get out, and then we will go round the, what was it, the dinosaur and like the ice age, and that's what we've done. Now, that wasn't really planned to do that, but in order to kind of like, if we had just went straight home, he might have had a meltdown because of the 1 hour and a half travel time. So because I know my son really well, and you know your child really well, it's important to do things that will help them and settle them and stuff like that. Like sometimes we go, right, let's just go straight home. But on this occasion we didn't, and he absolutely loved the second one, because what we done was, the first time we was in the buggy and I took him around and that, and then second time we went around the dinosaur and like ice age. I left my phone and camera like in the car, so you won't be able to see that, but he was holding my hand, we was walking around, he was having like the best time like of his life. Now, partners and that can have say different kind of like attitudes. My attitude is that kind of say a day was really successful. He enjoyed the park, and that he enjoyed, what was it, the dinosaurs, he enjoyed what was it, the ice age and that, and so it was successful. What wasn't successful was the safari. Now, it might be that we will go back to West Midlands Safari Park, and when we do, I said to Darren, like, there's no point going into some holidays because it will be ram of people, it will just be too busy. So I said we'll go one weekend, what was it, in term time, or we'll go in September or something, yeah, one weekend, because we got up until December to use it. So those are like my tips and that for you. So research, plan and organise. Plan and organise is like 2 tips, so that's 3. Also have fun, so have a jolly good time. The more that you are enjoying yourself and that, the more that the person will enjoy it, and that, and any because they can like feed off your kind of stress. This is what I was telling like my husband, is that it's so important to not show that you are bothered. and he does get really stressed, and he's like, oh, I'm not bringing him again, and that can be really hard, because my point of view is that it was his first time there. He hadn't done the safari before. He really enjoyed like the other like activities and that. So when we go back, we have a couple of choices. We can, go back, do the same, and we take him round the safari. Hopefully it won't be too busy. And did he get anything from the safari? Well, yes. He saw like wild animals and that, and he was smiling at some of them. So to me, it's about learning as well. It's that learning like experience and that. What about a zoo, you may say? Well, we've been to zoos, and again, he can have, like last year we went to the zoo and it was really hot. The weather does cause him to have mood swings and stuff, because you get hot and bothered and stuff like that. So we thought the safari would be a really good idea. Now, it was a really good idea, but it was just too much for him. It was too much. So sometimes what I think, when you are planning these days out, what you need to do, and what I've learned is, and I said this to Darren, Rebecca and Matthew is so different. Like Rebecca can take it all in, but Matthew, it could well be too much to do, like the whole Giggle Park and stuff like that. And then, so I do think that maybe we should have split it. So we done the park, and then next time we do the safari. So what was it? We learn all these things and that. So I hope you have enjoyed today's kind of like, I say, tips and that. What I will be doing is some more videos around this. I think it's really important that we definitely do our research and that. We definitely like plan and organize the night before, and then on the day, like if you can, pack things if you need to beforehand. What was it like on? I haven't really done, and I will do a video on holidays and how like we approach it, and was it some tips on that very, very soon, because we are going to Butlins in September. We have got a really lovely I was going to say cottage, but we've got a lodge which is going to be absolutely amazing, because I've hopefully we got it high up, and there's a balcony overlooking what was it, a like lake, and Matthew's gonna love it. Now it's too little to, what was it, seagulls, I think there's a bird nest or something here. We are on a like army base and that, so yeah, and I just think that planning and organizing is really important. Someone said like what was it, that well done for being organized. It's only by like experience, because I've done this before and not been organized, and it's been a nightmare. And that and I will just say it's the same tips really for holidays. Research, plan and organize, but and when you are there as well, just yeah, plan. You can plan your days and that, but at the same time have that flexibility as well, because a day trip is so much more, it's different to like going on holiday. So on holidays, and I will do a special video for you, on holidays you got more flexibility. Okay, and I'll just tell you about how Matthew was last year. 2 years ago we went. He wasn't very keen on no buttons. and it was kind of really, really hard for him. Last year, basically, we saw a change in him. He really engaged with the whole um, say, entertainment. He really enjoyed uh, kind of what we was doing and stuff. So that was really nice. And I keep on getting notifications on my phone, which is really annoying. So I'm expecting this year he will be different again, and so we will definitely see how he is in September doing that. So I'm going to do a holiday video in a few months time once we've been on holiday and stuff like that, maybe even during the holiday as well. I think it's really important. But what was it, as parents, we need to definitely do our research. Like, it's not like, what was it, like any other parent without a child with say autism. Yes, we'll go here, yeah, it'll be fine, absolutely. With, yourself, is it too busy, is it too noisy? No. What will the weather be like? How will that affect my child? What places to eat? Does that person have a restricted diet? What can cause meltdowns? Is it long queues and stuff like that? Yeah. So we have to think a lot of the time, and that also, what if your child is a runner? Do you make sure that you have a description or like a photo with you, just in case they get lost. Know where a place is if your child does get lost, to call, and for people, what was it, the staff to look out. It's more difficult when that's at say theme parks and stuff like that, but it's more difficult when you go out in a general, like you might go for a walk or something, and it's kind of like you think, oh yeah, but it can happen. So yeah, I think planning day trips and that is so hard work. It can be time consuming, and we have to think of our individual kind of child. So like if your child acquires kind of a visual timetable and that, or pre-warning and that, then make sure that you do that, because otherwise it could trigger a kind of their thoughts and behavior and stuff like that, which can then lead into kind of, I say, meltdowns. And high anxiety means that they don't want to go. I've worked with a lot of young people, and with some of them we've had to do a lot of research, help them to do their own research on it, talk about the day, talk about what they are actually going to be doing. Right, so you're going to get up, you're going to come to college, yeah, and then we're going to get the bus to here, and then we're going to get the train to here. So if it's like that, if you don't drive, and what was it, you need to be very kind of specific, but then you also got to take into account what was it, the risk factors. No, boss, because I work in special needs education, for many years, and social care, I kind of know what was it like. I always do a dynamic kind of risk assessment, where we go in, and kind of, I'm aware that Matthew can fall over quite easily, and so it is that thing of, well, no, even when I get to the place like Giggle Park, I was looking, I was like, right, there's a possibility that if he's not watched and someone needs to look after watch Rebecca, there's one exit. So what I done was I sat at a table where I could see it was in the center and that, and I could see the whole park and also like the exit as well. Dan was a bit worried about Rebecca, and I went, no, she won't go out. She knows where I am because she understands. But Matthew, well, we can't just let him go because he will just go wandering off. He needs to be supervised at all times. Even at home, like if there's a gate open, he will just be off. And we've had a couple of times, when that has happened, and he's gone towards the park and that is very sadly. So we've had to put say extra things in kind of place for that. So make sure that you do your research, plan and organise, have fun, don't stress too much. Plan, what was it, when you're planning your day, like if it doesn't go according to plan, like if your person or your child's had enough, so you planning to do a whole day, that may not work for your child. So you may have to do like half a day or something. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I will see you very, very soon. But yeah, please like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video because it does help the algorithm on YouTube and push my videos out, and I'm going to be doing more of these. So take care and I will see you soon. Bye for now.